Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be racing to 99 overall with both Quentin Johnston and Jordan Addison. I have made both Jordan Addison and Quentin Johnston wide receiver ones on their team. Quentin Johnston is also lined up in the slot right here to give them maximum reps, and typically players just do and perform better in the slot for some reason in Madden, so forgive me, but Madden simulation's broken, so we have to adapt to that, giving Quentin Johnston the wide receiver one spot and also giving him the slot. He has two great receivers behind him with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and Jordan Addison's in a very similar situation. And as you guys can see here, it is Jordan Addison in the wide receiver one spot with 99 overall, Justin Jefferson behind him. He will also be lining up in the slot. So far Addison has him beat by a few overalls. I think they might even be the same. I don't know. I think he's like a 77 or something, 76. It's gonna be close, and plus I'm also gonna have wide receiver progression up. So offensive progression XP rate, this will basically raise how much XP these guys get, and I'm gonna put it to 124 out of 300. I should probably, push it to 150, but this might be done generally soon. If that's the case, I don't know how fast or how much that'll really boost it, so we'll go 130 for now, and if it seems to be a little slow, maybe we can do this in future videos and you guys can tell, oh my god, maybe you guys can tell me which you guys would like better, slower or faster, but we'll see. We'll head to the midseason mark. They're on the same playbooks, same spot on each team. Basically go to midseason here, force, advance, and we'll see who's doing better by mid-season. Remember, a team's record has nothing to do with how these two are doing. Speaking of, we're about to see how good Jordan Addison is doing, and it's still Justin Jefferson leading the team, and Jordan Addison is down horrendous. How the fudge does this happen? I'm trying to keep it semi-PG here, but oh my lord, that's insane. And Quentin Johnston kind of in the same realm, 395 on less catches, and then we go to him with 375, 31 catches, 2 touchdowns. See, this isn't a race of stats or anything, it's a race of overall. I didn't even get to check or wanted to check either of them. I'm going to make sure they're still playing in the right spot. Yep, Jordan Addison at wide receiver 1, at slot receiver. We'll go down and check the Chargers. Slot receiver is Quentin Johnston, and wide receiver 1 is Quentin Johnston. So in terms of getting open, I guess these guys just aren't as good as the peers around them. Let me know right now in the comments who you think is going to win this race to 99 overall. My personal opinion, I've seen Quentin Johnston do some crazy things during simulations and longer term simulations. I haven't really seen too much of Jordan Addison. I'm gonna go Quentin Johnston. I know that might be a little bit of an outlier pick, but I think Quentin Johnston can beat Jordan Addison to 99 overall. And if we keep maxing out these like sliders, if we keep putting them in the right spots, even, and they're going to be on the same playbooks, I think that maybe Quentin Johnston has a pretty good chance, and like I said, might be the least favorable opinion, but I truly think it could happen. Plus, Justin Jefferson's like 25 or 26 to this point, and Jordan Addison will have to be playing with him draped all over him, and Johnston's going to have 2 older receivers phasing out at the end of their career here soon, so he might get a majority of the reps and keep those guys away and be that wide receiver 1 pillar for the Chargers. In the end of the first season, Addison goes for 80 catches, 1,020 yards, and is up to 80 overall with star development. Only 89 speed is pretty funny, but he's got some great stats. His route running looks incredible. His spec catch isn't even bad. So an 81 overall for Addison, and Johnston finished with 80. He's only a 74. What? They are doing this man dirty. What is going on? How is he a 74? 87 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 14 touchdowns, and you're telling me he's a 74? That is 7 overalls worse than Jordan Addison. He's gonna lose this. He's gonna lose this race, man. He's got it. What is going, like, how is that possible? No, dear god, simulating takes so long and offline, but that's the only way you can have multiple users in one franchise. So oh my, it just takes a long time. So on the Vikings, wide receiver, they bring in Amari Cooper to play, and Jordan Addison after training camp is an 82 overall. Chargers wide receiver, for a second I saw Josh Palmer, got a little excited. Didn't happen. It is Quentin Johnston, who is up to superstar development, which can happen, or which can help him in the long run of this race. Sitting only at a 74 even after training camp, hasn't gone up. Not as great at separating. He's got okay catch and catching traffic. Not quite the spec catch of Jordan Addison. He's got to figure something out. Jordan Addison has been so good, and Quentin Johnston has just been credited with superstar development. Would assume for the rookie of the year. So 22 years old, 74 overall. These guys headed into year 2. Let me know who you think is going to get more yards. And I have to do this every year. I have to go to both users. I have to auto reorder depth chart to make sure that they have their best team out there. And then I have to go to wide receiver. I have to go to Quentin Johnston, individually move him up, and then go to slot receiver. I already did this with your guy Jordan Addison. So slot receiver, let's go Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, whatever, all that good stuff. Let's simulate year number 2. We'll go to the midseason and check up on both the guys. Oh, okay. I think auto progress players offers something. Quentin Johnston has 9 upgrade points. Let's put them to use here. Let's go with slot. I know that's not going to upgrade his overall, but I want to make sure he becomes a well-rounded player to rack up some of these stats. Let's go physical upgrade now. That should get him up a little bit. Then we'll go slot again. I'm sure you guys are probably like, you're wasting his skill points. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not trying to, at least. I'm just giving him what I think would benefit him the most. And that's probably, I mean, deep threat could help. Let's go with a deep threat. See if he can open up this offense a little bit, get behind some of the defense. Physical again. Just making him a well-rounded player, making sure that he's good at all aspects of football, which will really help him in the long run. And the new and improved Quentin Johnston is at 80 overall with superstar development. We can look at his ratings now, and it looks a hell of a lot better. Medium routes up to an 85. Deep route probably needs a little bit of work. So I'm going to make sure to mess with the auto progress players or whatever's holding him back. I'll try to find that. Yeah, so everything is different for every team. So what I have to do, I have to do simple, and then I have to reorder depth chart manual, tutorial, pop-ups off, and then I'll make sure everything else is good. Also, off subject here, people are calling Margot Robbie mid. You men are crazy out there. I'm gonna say that. I mean, I don't know where y'all Sanders are at, but holy shit, not a good sign. Justin Herbert, not too many passing yards, and Quentin Johnston. Did I set the depth chart correctly? I don't know if I did. I don't know. He's up to an 81 overall though. It might be a bummer. Superstar development still looks very good on Quentin Johnston. He looks good. Up to an 81. That's where Mr. whatever his face is, Jordan Addison, who we'll go check on now. That's where he started this season, and it's now up to 400 yards already on the season and 83 overall. 22-year-old out of USC. Trying to become a better player in the league and release. His release sucks in Madden, at least. And just making sure I set the, okay, so I didn't remember if I did exactly or not. So Quentin Johnston is playing in the right spots. I'm gonna check the playbooks again, and then we'll be on our way to the end of the season. Not a good tell from the record. I think they went 3-14, they being the Chargers, and Quentin Johnston just equates over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. And his overall has fluctuated a lot. I think he's like an 82, down 3 with morale, but he's up 1, so it's -2. So yeah, 82 overall at the end of the season. I think that's where he was mid-season, so maybe the auto-progress players. I'm pretty paranoid now, or not paranoid, I don't know. Pretty aware of the settings that need to be set. Jordan Addison did a little bit better this year, is up to an 85 overall. It seems like the CPU has their predetermined favorite out, but does he have superstar? No, he does not. And all of those upgrade points went into 1 overall when I was just spreading them across Quentin Johnston's whatever. So Jordan Addison so far looks like the leader of this one. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and raise the slider up to 150. It took 3.5 minutes to simulate to the next season from the beginning of the playoffs last year. That's how crazy this is. And while we're here, why don't we check the overall? It's still at an 82. This is 83 plus 1 with morale. I'm almost sure of it. So Quentin Johnston at wide receiver 1 spot. I got to go do the same thing to Jordan Addison. And since that user is the owner of the league, that's where I can turn up the progression slider. So we're 2 seasons into this thing, and it's 27 minutes into the recording. So that's also a reason I'm doing this here, is going to put this to 150 to raise the progression slider to make these guys go up a little bit quicker. So Addison's like an 84 overall plus 1 with morale or whatever it is. So these guys are getting up there in overalls, and if this season goes well for both or even one of them, they could reach the 90s already. The 90s. So we'll have to see how they are. Should I go straight to playoffs? I think we'll just stop at the midseason again. I think that's kind of fun. We'll do that. And we'll see Vikings receivers, and Addison actually on the downslope right now, going 30 catches for a couple of yards. 86 overall, though. He just keeps climbing despite not the greatest stats at 343 yards in the end of the midseason, or by the midseason. And Johnston is leading the team with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams perhaps taking a step back. Quentin Johnston is leading the Chargers in receiving and is only at an 83. 23 years of age. He looks overall really good right now, and I believe that has something to do with all the upgrades I made, because look at how balanced he is. That's the thing. He's very balanced at this point in his career, and that could help him in the long run, along with that superstar development. Let's go to the end of the season, see how these boys do, see how these boys did, and see who is taking the lead. If I had to guess, it'd probably be Addison, but I wouldn't sleep on Johnston. He might have a big season. By the end of the season, I'm looking over, I see CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, all with the most absurd seasons by receiver, and maybe have to switch to one of those playbooks, as Jordan Addison wasn't even that great. 10 touchdowns on the season, 90 catches, 1,100 yards, an extra 50 on there. He's up to an 88 overall, 90 with morale. And we are not counting morale. We are counting pure overall. So if these guys hit a 97 and they have +2 morale, that don't count. Headed down to the Chargers is Quentin Johnston, who had just a similar season, actually. Little less receptions, one less touchdown. He's up to an 85 overall. So he's slacking just a little bit. He's got some work to do. He's got to get in the gym. He's got to work on himself. He's got to help himself get above Jordan Addison. And like I said, I think that superstar development should start coming into handy here soon. Towards the middle of this race that we have going on here, and we'll sim to next season. I'll see you guys in an hour. And I kid you not, the simulating time only goes up every freaking season because more data is loaded in and whatnot. And Jordan Addison now has a superstar X Factor quarterback, and he's up to like an 88. I think that was like where he was at last time we saw him anyways, maybe an 87. Slot receiver needs to be Jordan Addison. And now I gotta switch over to the other user, do the same thing with Quentin Johnston, and then we'll simulate the season. I did do a playbook switcheroo. It'll now be the Buffalo Bills playbook after watching Stephon Diggs absolutely dominate. So Quentin Johnston, that wide receiver 1 spot, and then slot receiver will be automatically Quentin Johnston. Anyways, I want Darius Davis playing under him in case Keenan Allen comes up and swipes some of those reps. I can't have that. No. He's the betting favorite right now in my mind. Not actually, though. We go to midseason, see how both these boys are doing. The Vikings released N'Keal Harry in real life from Tom Pelissero reporting that. N'Keal Harry, that's a rough story, man. Jay Herbo with a hell lot of yards. Receiving Quentin Johnston on the right track. 38 catches, 520 with 7 touchdowns. Is not bad at all, up to an 86 overall. Needs to start progressing a little bit faster, and he might have a chance and put a leg in this race. But other than that, so far, this race seems to be not dominated, but be won so far by Jordan Addison. Is at 32, 395, having a little bit of a worse season, up to an 89 overall now. Ratings here shows that he still needs to work on his release. Chargers make the playoffs. It might fare well towards their season, towards their numbers, perhaps. Looking at the stats, slowly but surely, Justin Herbert with 5th in the league and passing yards with 4,239 touchdowns. Only 7 interceptions, really good. Don't know why I'm looking at Isaiah Spiller's stats, but I should be looking at this man. Quentin Johnston, 93, finally leads the team, 1,100, nearly 1,200 with 15 touchdowns. This is a hell of a season from Quentin Johnston. It's starting to show. He's up to an 88 overall. Got excited for a second. I was hoping, I can always hope. Go to the Vikings receiving group, and Jordan Addison had a better season than whatever his face is, and that's only going to fare well for him. Up to a 91 overall. It's close, and that superstar development might kick in just at the right time for Quentin Johnston to help his progression out. But, man, Jordan Addison I mean, do some. Got to sabotage him or something to do a good job. Dwight Green, the auto-generated quarterback for the Vikings. So what we got to do here is go to next season and then wait. What is probably going to feel like, let's see here. I'm guessing it's going to take, well, we're 45 minutes in the recording. I'll let you guys know, but I'm going to guess the recording is going to be at 51 minutes and 22 seconds. Justin Herbert up to a 93 overall with the Superstar X Factor and Quentin Johnston. Superstar X Factor. That's what I love to see. Now, this is why I have my money on Quentin Johnston, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you should learn a thing or two and listen to me. And Jordan Addison, I believe, is still on normal, or not normal, star development, though. And he will be up top here. I got to reorder this real quick to make sure that the best players are playing. You know what I'm saying? Why did I go to rush left end? I need slot receiver, and I need Addison to be starting there to put up the best numbers to try and contend with Quentin Johnston, despite being ahead in the race right now. They're getting close. I'd say another 3 seasons or so. And I think contract extensions are going to be in play here in just a minute. Wait, how did that work? How did I move Jordan Addison's? Did I move him? I think I did. Yeah, I switched Jordan Addison from the other one. That's crazy. Okay, well, I don't even have to come back to this one. That's good to know. I can switch depth charts from the other user. So that's cool. Good to know. Love that for me. But I will go ahead and look at NFL rosters, and I clicked the button a minute and a half ago, but it's just starting to load. Just give it a second here. It's pretty embarrassing if you're mad. So yeah, Jordan Addison is up to superstar development. He is at a 90 or 91 overall, if I had to guess. So 91 overall, 25, 4th years in the league. I believe, was he a first round pick? I think he was. So they probably accepted his option, and so that's coming up. And Chargers, if I hadn't to guess, we're seeing Quentin Johnston now with Superstar Development or Superstar X Factor up to an 88. Let's go ahead and look at his stats and contracts, because did he fall out of the first round? I'm almost confident he did. No, he didn't. He was a first round pick. So probably the same thing, contract. They did rework it, though. So 3 years remaining on this, and he should be there by then. It'll probably take him till they're about 28, 29 to get there, which is going to be a long day for me. It is. Oh, I forgot to let you guys know where we're at in the recording. It wasn't nearly as long as I thought it'd be that last season, so some must be working out. Let's go to the mid-season. See how these two are doing. Wow, Bears fans. Holy shit, you're 0-7 in a virtual video game. How does that feel? Dwight Green, the Vikings quarterback, is #1 in the league in passing yards, letting the gates open for Jordan Addison, who's at 517 yards at the midseason. Let's see what Chargers receiver Quentin Johnston, who I think I forgot. No, did I? I don't know. That's kind of rough, man. We are losing by a landslide here now, if this is the way this is going to work here. Let's see, I guess. Let's go to the depth charts. So Addison is in the right spots. So let's see if Chargers, Quentin Johnston. So I can also reorder this one as well. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Johnson is, but 89 overall now, by the way, in case you guys were curious. So Addison seems to be winning pretty fair and pretty square. I'm curious if I should mess with playbooks. I'm seeing CeeDee Lamb at the top of receiving every single year. So Cowgirls playbooks might be the way to go, but we'll go ahead and sim to the playoffs, aka the end of the season. See how these guys did, see how the guys are doing, see if they win any awards, depth trade upgrades, and finally the overall. The Minnesota Vikings, I go 13-4 with Dwight Green leading the league in passing yards at 4,700. This fares very well for Jordan Addison. Dwight Green also 46 touchdowns. It's only 3 interceptions. He looks like the GOAT, but it's Justin Jefferson taking over. Love to see that. You guys probably think I'm sabotaging right now. I promise you I didn't mess with a jack snipe. All right. Looking at the Chargers now. Oh my God, you're lying. Ben Wilcox leads the team. And Quentin Johnston is falling off, if you will. He's a 91 overall. Oh me, oh my. I'm going to turn up the slider to 200 now. See how much fun we can have. Okay, so this is the deal. We're going to be headed over to Dallas playbooks now, and we'll keep the base 4-3 and spread. It really doesn't matter. I think that is simply just for XP, scheme fit sort of deal, bonuses, all that good stuff. So that being said, let's turn the sliders up now. You got to be joking me. I'm so freaking tired of going back and forth, back and forth. It's not fun, man. I just want to sit here and enjoy my time. But when I'm an hour into a recording, literally 40 or 59 minutes and boom, 1 hour. It's just so annoying. Watch this. So this is my button right here. So X button, ready? Pressed. I pressed it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Keep there it is. Okay. And that doesn't even, cover that. And wide receivers, boom, 200. That'll be the one. We'll have some fun. I'm going to switch back to the Chargers user, switch both the depth charts, and we'll be off. Everything's set and good here. Let's go to the Vikings. And I can auto reorder the Vikings from this one, which is a huge W. Go down here, wide receiver, make Jordan Addison the guy, as much as it pains me. And then we'll move Justin Jefferson a little bit down. Hopefully it doesn't take too many reps. I think I already did slot receiver. Been here a while. You kind of lose track after a while. I just realized, is it quote unquote or is it quote unquote? On or un? Am I stupid? Anyways, back to the video. Receiving, I see Jordan Addison went off for 1,400 yards, and that's not what I like to see. Man, it's such a bummer. I'm gonna lose a bet myself that I had that Quentin Johnston would win this. I'm so pathetic. Quentin Johnston, do better. 77, 1,000 yards on 200 progression slider max thingy. I think we can all end this early for my sake. It's so long. It took 7 minutes to sim that whole season. And Jordan Addison effectively up the boards as he is at a 96. Can we please get this man to 99 by the end of at least next season, and I'll be okay. I'll be fine. Maybe. I might die in this. Natural causes might take over, but I'll be fine. Okay, this might be my last push. This is what I'm going to do. So this 68 overall receiver, I'll do this. So it'll be 94 or whatever he is. I don't give a shit anymore. He's let me down. So we'll do this. I'm not even a fan of Quentin Johnston in real life, by the way. I don't have any shares of him throughout my 5 or 6 fantasy teams and dynasty teams. I drafted Zay Flowers over him pretty easily. Yeah, Zay Flowers could have been good for this challenge, but not anymore. Go to wide receiver. Go look at some Jordan Addison. I'm going to put another receiver in between these two. And Addison is up to superstar. X Factor, of course. Why am I going away from them? I need to make sure he's the slot receiver. I'm losing my mind currently. And the season is over. I'm going to look down at the receiving yards again and see Traylon Burks has done a good job, but none of our guys have. So I was hoping the suffering would kind of be over and Addison would show up and show out. Didn't happen. Receiving, Quentin Johnston was ass per usual, of course. We go up to the Vikings here, and Addison was an ass. I wouldn't put it that way. He was an ass. And he's a pure 99 overall, ladies and gentlemen. You have the end of your video. Jordan Addison has won the race to the very freaking long race, the hour and 13 minute long race to 99 overall. Jordan Addison has won. He has done it, ladies and gentlemen. Did you think he was going to win? Because, I'm going to be honest, I thought Johnston had a chance. He finished at like a good solid 94 overall, so not too far behind. Who would you like to see next? Who would you like to see? It's got to be fair. I was going to do Gibbs versus Bijan Robinson. No matter what planet you're on, that will never be fair. So there's that. Quentin Johnston will finish at a solid, if it would ever load, I pressed a button a minute ago, solid 96. So he followed closely, but just couldn't get it done. Let me know who you want to see next. Maybe Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud on like maxed out progression sliders. That would be kind of fun. Maybe some edge rushers we can do. Maybe Will Anderson versus someone else. There's no other like edge on his level. I mean, maybe Tyree Wilson. I don't know. That'll be it for me. Thank you guys, though. for watching, especially if you watched all the way through. It means a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.